Alright, so I took the borescope and looked down the spark plug holes. The spark plugs are still in, so you couldn't see a whole bunch, but it looked like there was a bit of dirt and cruft and grunge down in there in the spark plug hole. So I'm going to take a air line and compressed air and blow out the spark plug holes, get any grunge or dirt out of there. So I've got just your standard little air nozzle with a piece of hose on it, and got my hose running over here from my compressor. And I'll just hook it up and shove it down into each of the spark plug holes, and hopefully blow all the cruft and dirt out before I try to remove the plugs. So, and I'll be doing these one at a time, because you have to put the engine in the right position to get the valves and the cylinder out of the way, but or the piston, get the piston out of the way. So anyhow, I'm going to start with number one, because it's the most accessible, and see where we're at. But first step is to blow it out. Okay, here I am blowing the dirt out of the spark plug holes. I've already hit them once, and surprisingly, a lot of cruft came out. Even though those cops look like they might seal down in those spark plug holes pretty well, maybe they do, but there was still plenty of cruft in there. So I just take the hose connected up to a air valve off the compressor and just run it down into that spark plug hole. So the spark plugs are still in there. I'm just blowing out any dirt, so when I do remove the spark plugs, it doesn't fall down in the cylinder. So I stick each one in there and blow it around. Stop it. With two hands, I can hold on to both ends, but anyhow, I blow out all the dirt out of there, and like I said, quite a bit of crud actually blew up out of each one of them. So, yeah, I think it was worthwhile. Alright, I just reached in and pulled the plug out of cylinder 1. So, a couple of things. So, right down here, the first one, since it was the most easy to access, you can't really see in this lighting very well, but pulled the plug out of cylinder 1. The plugs actually don't look too bad. I don't know what you can see in this light, but the guy I bought the truck from said that he had replaced them, and they do. They actually look like they're in pretty good shape. So, I'm kind of looking at them, seeing if I can see any, aluminum threads, anything look pulled out. Looks like see if I can see any damage on them. So they actually don't, they don't look bad at all. I'll borescope the hole here in a second. But another thing I want to point out is I bought some of these magnetic, locked-on plug sockets, because I had the standard ones where you have the plug socket that just snaps onto a ball detent on an extender, and then has the little rubber insert. And when I was working on cylinder 5, of course, you shove it down on there, and when you go to pull it back, you leave the socket in the hole. Okay, so that's no good. So you back everything back out so that you can pull the plug free and get it out. All right, so you're a little more gentle this time and push it down there. When you pull the socket out, you notice the rubber piece has pulled out of the socket and is stuck down in on the spark plug. So you go through the exercise again, pull it all back out again. What a pain in the pain. So I ponied up for a set of these, a set of 3. It's got I think an 11-inch, a 6-inch, and maybe a 3-inch. But the sockets are mechanically fixed to the extension. There's a magnetic holder in here instead of the standard rubber boot. And then the magnetic holder is glued to the inside of this socket. So, and for one so far, it's worked like a champ. But hopefully this will be a worthwhile investment. All right, so the next step is to borescope that hole and see if I see anything interesting.